Okay, you guys, so this video is for my EXP agents who have chosen Lofty as their CRM of choice. Now, if you are an EXP agent, we have until September the 30th, 2025 to decide if you're going to choose between keeping BoldTrail, which is what's KV Core, Lofty, or Cloze. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to edit the homepage of your Lofty website. Now, this is for people who have not upgraded to the $49 a month plan. If you already have taken a look at your website, then you know that it's pretty limited. But what I'm going to show you guys is how you can still create a beautiful website, not paying the $49 a month, and how you can just upgrade it with photos, videos, and still have something that you can use for your clients. Now, you know, if you're on my page and you've been on my page for a while and you're a real estate agent, you know that I advocate for real estate agents to have their own brand, their own website. But this today we're going to talk about is the Lofty website that's provided from EXP. This is included in your $85 a month. We are not upgrading to the $49 on Lofty, but I'm going to show you guys using another agent's website how you can upgrade. So let's do it. All right, you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, you guys, we're going to be editing a Lofty website template. And this is for all of the people that switched over to Lofty at EXP, but you have not upgraded. This is for anyone who has not upgraded. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I am not paying the extra $49 a month to show you what your website can look like and show you the edits that's in here that you can do. Now, it's very, very limited, but you still can create a beautiful website. So this is the website that I created. You guys, as I always say, photos matter when it comes to your website. Now, this is not the upgraded website. If you do not know, or if you're at EXP and you're going back and forth with, should I choose Lofty, BoldTrail, which was KV Core, or Cloze, which Cloze does not have a website. I'm going to show you guys how, if you do select it, it is very limited, but you're still able to create a beautiful website, which this is the website that I created. And I was going to like redo my website, but I went in and I changed a bunch of things. I actually have a buyer's guide, which I added. Now I'll be upgrading and I'll show you guys how to do this as well, how to add your Instagram. I did pay for this, but I'll show you guys what I selected and how I paid for it. You can go in here and change some of the pages, which I'll show you guys. I decided to add my Instagram to the bottom of each one. And again, you guys, this is a free, not free, but we pay for it in our $85 a month if you're at EXP. I'm just going to kind of show you guys how beautiful you can still create a website, even though it's limited. Now, I didn't finish this part because I got a little stuck on it, but I'll show you. I'm going to edit someone else's website. I added in my reviews, which I don't think they gave me their reviews, but I'll show you guys how to do that as well. If you want to change your colors, if you want to change your email, you don't want that EXP email, I'll show you guys how to do that. And I'm trying to see what else. Oh, they have to sign in to be able to use this page. And also, as you guys know, I always preach to have your own website. If I did not have my own website, I would have downtime in between my website and waiting to get Lofty completely set up. What I tried to do was try to mimic my website as much as I could in the Lofty website, as far as like how bright and, you know, the colors are still the same. Now, I can't change the fonts in Lofty, which is fine because I just went ahead and found, like I have, hold on, let me show you guys. And this is my personal website that I designed on Wix. As you guys know, I always tell you to have your own, so you can explore neighborhoods. And if you saw my other video with my website, I was using KV Core and I was able to use the HTML to add links in here. But now I'm actually adding links in with using landing pages, and it links over to my website. Okay, so I'm not going to show you guys how to do this because I think I've showed you guys how to do that before. And if I haven't, see, all of this links over to the website that I showed you guys. That is my website. So they're still on my website. I don't have an IDX on this website, but I've showed you guys on past videos on how to add an IDX. I think, let me see, sellers. I started like playing around with this. Did I add that? I hope I didn't. Oh yeah, I did add this. I need to take this off. So there is a way that you can go in if you want to add a home evaluation on your Wix website, but we're not talking about Wix today. We're not talking about Wix. I need to take that off. I need to just add a link that if they want to go over to my website and get a home evaluation then they can do that. I was actually playing around with this to see if I can add a page. This is actually a full page. Someone can put their address in. I wanted to see if it links over. So today, you guys, we are going to focus on Lofty. If you're at EXP or another brokerage, you chose Lofty, but you did not pay the extra money and your website is very limited, you still can come out with you can still have a beautiful website. So we're going to work on an agent at EXP. His name is Clyde Everett. He is actually in the North Carolina area. And so like always, we want to, let me find the website. Because I didn't want to like delete my website and start over. No, I just found another agent who let me work on his website to, fix his website. Now, I don't know if he's changed this, but he's in North Carolina, where you guys see that this does not match North Carolina. It just doesn't. I mean, it doesn't match. So we're going to go in. I see that he added his photo. He hasn't added his bio, which he's giving me that. I'm going to add his Instagram, and I'm going to go through and show you guys how to edit these pages. Now, like I said, here are all of the pages that we have access to, which these pages can be moved up and down. If we want to move them up and down, they can go up and down and move around. If you want to add some of these pages, the pages that look like this, you see this right here? This is actually a page. These aren't pages. These are hidden pages. So these aren't pages that you would see. And if you want to go in and this is a page that you could, if you wanted to go in and edit this page, you can. But let's start let me show you guys the blocks. Okay. So if you have not selected your CRM of choice, and I did some research and I thought I would have access to all of these blocks, which we do not have access. Okay. So it's very, 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 very limited. But again, you still can come out with a beautiful website. If you want to pay the $49, you can open this up to, and it's $49 a month. If you want to pay $49 a month, you will have access to all of these locked features. If you want to pay, the $49, which I thought that's what we were getting. I just thought we were getting that. I'm just going to say that. I thought we were getting all of the locked things, but we're not. You have to pay for them. So we're only limited to what is on here, which we do have a featured area. And you still, like I said, you still can have a beautiful website without having, it would be nice to have all of these. I probably would spend more time on editing, but you don't have access to these unless you pay the $49 a month. Okay. So today I'm going to show you guys how to do it without paying the $49. Anything that doesn't have a lock on it is what we have access to, which is basically nothing, which is nothing. Under all of these, they're all locked. Okay. So they're just locked. But what we do have access to is we can embed a HTML code. And that is how I added down here at the bottom, I added this to my website. I added an HTML code, and I also added the buyer's guide. This is a HTML code. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that as well. So let's get started. I don't know how long this video will be. Hopefully it won't be too long. Let me show you guys what I do first, and I'll put in the timestamp so you guys will know exactly where I am, or, if you need help editing this part. Let me see. Should I start with the photos? I'd like to go in and select photos. Now, he's in North Carolina, so we don't want to have photos of palm trees. I don't even know where he's located, if there are palm trees, but we want to have photos that reflect where you are. Okay, so if you're in Miami and you have palm trees, if you're in, I don't know, Denver, Utah, Los Angeles, Dallas, you want to have photos to reflect where you are. Now, these are some photos that I selected. They all kind of have the same kind of color and feel, brightness. So I selected these photos. I selected 40 photos just to give me a variety of, photos to add to the website. He told me that there is a, beach there. I didn't approve these photos with him, but I sent him a link to look through the photos because we want to have photos that kind of look like, they go together. And as you can see with the brightness of these photos, with the colors of these photos, which will make a beautiful website, even if you're not paying the $49, a month, the extra money. And I actually pulled some videos too, which I'm not sure if I'll add a video so you guys can see how to add a video as well, but you can do that in some of the sections. So the first thing I like to do when I have photos like this, I like to go in, I'm on a Mac, I'm working on a Mac. I don't know I want to call it an Android, but it's a PC. On a PC, I don't know how to do this, but on a Mac, I do. First thing I like to do is go in and rename my photos. Now, this was from my renaming, but we're going to rename his name, and we're going to say North Carolina Realtor. Now, we always want to name our photos. Now, I know that they said if you pay the $49, you'll have the SEO, but it's nice to have, honestly, I renamed these one thing, but if you have the time, you can go in and say, put your name, North Carolina home with a pool. I don't know. You really want to name these what they are. Like this is you can say your name with colonial style home with brick. Because these photos are going to speak to Google, right? These photos will speak to Google. So you do want to go in and name each one. I'm not going to do that, but you guys may want to do that. This is kind of what I do. I just name them all one thing and I make sure my name is in them with my city and state. So you guys can go in if you want to go in and name each one. Formal living room, North Carolina Realtor, then when people go in and they search, like, I'm looking for a house in North Carolina, living room, then you'll show up in the images. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to figure out what we can add in here. Now I'm going to refer back to my website, which, I like my website. I'll show you guys how to go in and change photos. If you want to add a video here, you can. So once you click on it, okay, we're in the home. You're going to go on this little button right here. So you can either don't delete it because it says if you delete this, you may not be able to get it back. So do not delete it. So we're going to work on desktop and mobile. And then they do have the two different, how it's going to look on each. So let's start on the home page. The first thing we're going to do is click on this little button here, and we're going to change the content. We're going to change the background. We're going to add a video here. And then as far as the style, he doesn't have his logo here, but you can add your logo. As you can see here, I have my logo. But if you wanted to add a logo, he can. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this little button here. And then we're going to change this to a video. And you can do a slideshow if you have photos. If you have a video, you can, or you can leave it as an image. He is located in North Carolina, so we do not want to have a photo that looks like that. So you can use a link from any of these if you wanted to, but I'm going to upload a video. Now it has to be a MP4. I had it as a MOV. It doesn't work as an MOV. It has to be an MP4, which if you run it through Canva, or if you put the video in Canva, then it will be an MP4 when you download it. We don't want a video preview photo. We just don't want that. And do we want a different background type for yes, we want a different type for the mobile. Because if you add the video on mobile, okay, let's see. We see how it looks. So if we have, say if you don't want a different photo and video, if you want to have a video for your background, you can. I added a photo to mine. But if you want to do a video, you can. See how it cuts off though? I don't know. I'll show you guys the other way as well. So if you want a different background type for the desktop and the mobile, we're going to upload a photo that looks like this. We don't want it to be, we want it to be a photo like this. Okay. See how that looks? Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so here we're going to change this. Now I had to refer to ChatGPT because I didn't have any of the writing for this. So, which he can go in and change this. We're going to put this. And then we're going to replace this. And if you want to go in and look at it and see what it looks like, it may need to be a little darker. Okay, as far as this photo, I feel like this photo is too light. So we're going to change this photo out and add this video. We're going to upload a different video. We're going to upload one that's darker. Let me see what it looks like on mobile. Okay, as far as the content, okay, I just separated it so it looks nicer, which this is very limited. You can change the size of it. Can you change the size of it? No, it's limited. Let's keep it on H2. Oh, yeah, you can. So you can, it looks like you can go in and change the font. No, I don't know. It looks the same. It may be different somewhere else. If you guys want to center this or add it to the left, right, or keep it centered, desktop spacing. Oh, that's for this down here, for this bottom part. If you want to add spacing to the bottom or on mobile, which we don't want to do that. Okay, so this part is done. This next part, let me see what I have. Oh, he doesn't have that. Okay, they didn't give him that. I don't know, you guys. This is a featured listing. So to go in and edit anything, you're going to just click on the little pin. Featured listings up to 6. What's weird is I have this, which he doesn't have this. And if it's not there and it's not under pages, not under here. So he doesn't have this middle section, which I like to break up websites and not, I'm just going to delete this. But if I delete it, then we have photo on photo, which I don't like that, which we're going to refer back to mine. You see how I have a space, then another photo? Okay, you guys, let's take a look at it. Oh, it did change the font. It changed it. See how I don't like how a photo on top of a photo? I don't like that. So let's go back and actually. So you guys, if you want to change anything, you just hit this back button or this forward button. I actually am okay with this font for this section, so I'm going to leave this. Okay, you guys, we can't even, can we? Yeah, we can drag these blocks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this block up to here, if I can. Okay, that's perfect. We're going to delete this one. And let's see what it looks like. Okay, that's not bad. Although I would like a space in here, but we don't have anything. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to work on this section. And in this section, we can change the photo. We can change the website copy here. We can actually click for the link. Hold on, let me click on it. And then if we want to add a title, column 2 is going to, so the block is the full complete block. Column 2 is going to be this section here, and this is for desktop image and mobile image, which we're going to change. We're going to replace all images. And let's see, we'll grab this one. And if you want to use the same image on both, you can. You know, one is going to be on mobile and one's going to be on desktop. And you guys, to check the desktop, you're going to always just go here. You'll see what it looks like. I'm going to break this up, but because it's going to take me down if I don't. Okay, column 1 is this section here. And I was going to change this. I'm going to do this photo. Okay, and then column 2 is going to be this here. Now for column 1, if you want to go in and change the writing here, buyer services, you actually can change the writing, which I'm not going to do that because I didn't receive anything. This clicks over to the URL to the listing page, which this should probably go to the buyer's page. But you're gonna put that in here. If you want to use this for something else, if you say, I want to click it over to my website, which is your personal website, you can. If you want to click it over to, you want to put your image in here, like you can do that as well. You can open in the page, like anytime that you're on your own personal website and you want them to go around your website, the same website, then you want it to open in the current tab. But if you are clicking over to another website, like if I was clicking this over to my personal website, I still want to leave this window open. So they'll have this website open and then my personal website open. And then here you can put, if you want to type in something else, how it works, get to know me, whatever you want to put in there. And then if you want to change the color, you can change the color of the button. If you want to change, if you want to change this button to this, where it's all white, you can do that as well. You want to change the font. If you want to change the size, if you want to make it bold, not bold, you can do that as well. And then the color, see how you can change that. If you want to change it to black, I would just leave it at white unless you're changing the color of the actual column. If you want to change the background color is here. So if you wanted to change that to that, you can. You can change it. You have to have this type of color to change it. And you guys, this is just as simple as going in to type in RGBA colors. Color picker. Okay, if you know your colors, you can just go in over here. If you know your color, you can choose a color here, put your color in, and it'll give you the actual code. Let's go to column 2. Column 2, we're going to change the photo out again, and you can go in and change. Let's just use this photo because I think this photo looks nicely with the photo that we selected. Okay, so that looks nice, and we're going to switch out the mobile. Remember, we're always going to think about the mobile as well. We're not just going to edit because a lot of people are going to use this on their phone as well. So we want to make sure that that's changed out. All right. Okay, here we're going to add a different photo. We're going to work on, so this section is pretty much done. You're going to go to each column. You can go in and change the website copy here. You can plug it into ChatGPT if you need to, what you should put on here. We always want to open in the current tab if you're working on, if you want people to stay within your website. You don't want them clicking off and then all these windows opening up. I can't stand that. When you click on something and then it opens a new window. No, you're still on the same website. So, okay, so it's looking pretty nice. Let's take a look at it. And of course, they want me to unlock the full potential of your website, which we are not doing that. We're not upgrading to anything. If you do not have a website of your own, or if you're like, oh, I can't take it, hopefully you can use this and, create a nice website. Hold on, I didn't publish. Have to publish. And then we're going to take a look at it, see what it looks like. I still want a space in here, but hey, it is what it is. And I may move this back up. I don't know. I don't like how it's looking. All right, let's just put this here for now. I'll have to figure out something else. So you guys, when you click on a section, you can add an image, a slideshow, or a color. Let's just add a color. Let's just make it a color. Okay, we're going to make the background a color. Of course, you can add this is going to click over to contact, but you can go in and put your website copy in here. You can change, I don't know if you can really change the color, but you can add your copy here, adjust your link. And again, we want to open in the current page. We don't want 10 pages opening when someone's on your website. You can do it to the left, to the right, or center. Center is better. And then, okay, so that section is done. If you want to adjust the height of that, which, let's see, let's make it 400. And then we're going to check the mobile, see what it's looking like. Okay, it's looking pretty nice. Looking pretty nicely. Then we're going to go down and work on this section here. Oh, we're going to add. So this section, you guys, we're going to add a feature page. And we want it to be white. It's looking pretty dark. Where was that feature area? We're going to add one of these. Okay, you guys. So for the featured area, which this is open, it doesn't have a lock on it. So we're going to add a feature area here. And to go in and change your featured area, because when people click on this, it's going to take them to the featured area on your website, to that actual page, okay? So what we want to do is to change these, like say if you don't want these cities or states. Oh, let me save it. Let me publish. Okay, so then we're going to go in, look at the featured areas. If your MLS is connected, then you can go in and change your featured areas. You can go in and I don't want to change these because he's already put these in. But let's see, let's go back to the list. You can only add 6. So I can't add any more. But if you needed to add your featured areas that will show up on your website, you're going to click on this and then you're going to go in and just change them and add them. Okay. So he's already added them on his website. So we have them down here. And to edit these, of course, we're going to go to this little like pin over here in the corner. He already has these in here, but what we're going to do is we're going to add a photo to these. And that's why we want to go ahead and have enough photos selected. I selected, I think it was 40 photos. Now, I don't know any of these areas. I don't know if they look like this, but this is what we're going to get today. Okay. The great thing is he can watch this video and go in and change, change all of these. So again, we're already in the featured area. You're going to come over to the left. Uh-oh, I already did that one. Come over to the left, and then we're going to add a photo. Again, I don't know if these areas actually look like this. If this is, what's in these featured areas. In the display name, if you want to add that, you can. If you want to add some tags, you can. You can add that as well. Okay, we're just going to go in and we're going to change all of these and add a photo. We're going to add a photo to each one. And they don't all have to be exterior photos or they could be interior photos as well. Cause like on my website, I have all interior photos. If you want to add some family photos, you can. If you have, photos of families, you can do that as well. And then we're going to go here and we're going to upload another photo. Let's do another house. I think we already did this house. Did we already do this house? No. And that's why it's important, you guys, like I just said, to have your photos already selected. You see that they're all in a folder. Okay. Actually, this section, hold on. I'm going to change this section. I feel like this section should be light. Okay, if we change it, I don't think it needs to be that white. Let's do it a soft gray. Okay, and then let's do the text. And you guys, you can go in and have this be whatever your colors are. And then the button color, we're going to do in black. Okay, so let's publish and let's look at this. Okay, we're looking pretty good. Uh-oh, we don't like that. I'll fix that. Okay, we have his photos in here. Now this right here, this has to go. And then we have him at the bottom, and I'm going to add his bio. Looks pretty good. We're going to delete this. We don't want this. We already have featured photos or areas, so we're going to delete this. Okay, for his bio. So for your bio, you guys, click on this, of course, and then we're going to go over, and I can't remember. I'll have to find where you add the bio. I think it's in the settings. Hold on, let's publish. So when you publish, that saves everything. Okay, so you're going to go to settings. You're going to come over to agent. We're going to click on this. This is where all of his information is. He's added in his social media. He didn't add his Instagram, so let me add that. I don't know if he wants his Instagram, but you're getting it. I don't know. You're getting it because you're going to get your Instagram somewhere else too. Okay. So if you have all of your social media, you can go in and add your social media here. And these are all the things you can add. And then if you want to add your brokerage's information, you can do that. This here is where I asked him if he wanted to change his email. If you do not want an EXP email, you can go in here. Oh, you got to get a verification code. Okay, so I'm not going to do that right now because it's late and I'm not going to bother him. But if you want to change your email, you know, your verification code will come directly to you. All of these you can just click on and change. If you want to change your name, you can do that as well. If you have a personal attachment, I don't know. I guess that would be like awards and that kind of stuff. If you have some other professional photos, if you have some gallery photos, you can add those as well if you want to add those in. Oh, if you wanted to integrate any of these things, I think I added my Google, my business, and I added a few other things. So if you want to do that, you can add that. That's free. We're doing all the free stuff. Now, if you're on USA, I just want to show you guys this really quick. If USA EXP dot portal or expportal.com, you're not going to be able to do any of these things that I'm doing. So you want to make sure you are on this domain here, right here, or you can add your own domain. I think it's $10 a month. You can add your own domain if you want to do that. That'll give you more personalized website, but you should be possibly saving your domain for your website that's outside of your brokerage. Okay, so on here, I was in the right place. This is where you're going to introduce yourself. So we're going to use his bio. This is his bio that he has, and I'm going to add that to this section. And it looks like you can change the font. If you have a font, name, if you have your brand built out, you can change your font, you can change the color. And if you want it to be centered, you can. And then we're going to go back to the editor. And it should be at the bottom. Yes, here it is. What I am going to show you guys is how to use a HTML code. Since the blocks are very limited, if you know how to embed a code, which I'm about to show you guys how to do that, then you can add a lot of flair to your website. Okay, so the HTML code is embed a code. How you get your Instagram, and I'm going to embed it at the bottom of each page so it looks like it's in the footer. Because the footer, we can't change this footer here. There's nothing you can do about the footer. The footer is a section that shows up on all of your pages of your website. So you can't change the footer on your website. So what I did on my website, which I have down here, is I added this. Like he doesn't even have this, our partners. If it's not on your page, like this was already on my page, which I can add more links in. But he didn't have that. And I have to figure out how to put this in. So what we're going to do is add a HTML code, and this is where you embed the code. Okay. What I did was I was like, okay, I use HTML codes on my other website, on my Wix websites. And if you don't know, we have Wix website templates for real estate agents, beautiful templates to help you have your own website and not have to do all of this every time your brokerage decides they want to switch up the game on you. I just typed in HTML Instagram feed. You're going to type in HTML Instagram feed. I use the first one, which I already have an account. You see here, you get 3 widgets of only Instagram. I thought I could add YouTube, which I was trying to add my YouTube, but you have to pay an extra $60 to have YouTube, Instagram, like for each app. So for Instagram, I have 3. So I'm going to let him use one of my Instagram widgets, which I've paid for this through August 20th of next year. He doesn't have to pay anything because I already have it and I'm going to add it on here. So I'm going to add it to the bottom of the website. Let's see, we're going to use this one. We're going to put his account in. This is his account. And we're going to work on the layout, which we're going to just do one row. One row is enough. This will be in the footer. And if I wanted to change the color of this, because his website at the bottom is black, but see, this is just black on black on black. It's too dark. So I'm going to make this white so we can see it. It'll stand out. And so we're going to leave the likes, comments, text, and I'll show you guys what it looks like on mine. This is what it looks like. We're going to use it to where it just pops up. We don't want to click off of our website and go over to Instagram because people's attention span is short. And so they click off and go over to Instagram. Now they forgot all about your website. Nope, we want to keep them on your website. So we're going to leave that like that. And then we could change this, but we're not. We're going to just leave it nice and clean. This looks too messy to me. This would take me down. So we're not going to do that. We are going to work on the spacing though. You need a little bit of gap in between the post. We're going to do that. And then the style, if you guys wanted to change the header colors, if you have your brand colors, you can do that. Post, if you want to put an overlay, if you want to add arrows, you can do all of this, pop up. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the HTML code. Okay, so first I have to publish it. Now it's published. Okay, so then we're going to embed the code. Here's the code right here. And they have a tutorial if you need to, figure out which one of these. Ours isn't on there. So we're going to take this code and we're going to embed the code here. And voila. Bam, boom, bam. Instagram is there. Okay, so he has his Instagram feed there. This page is pretty much done. I'm going to show you guys. He's going to go in and change his writing to what he wants his website copy to be. He's going to go in and change that. I added photos and then his Instagram is at the bottom and it's a nice clean. This needs some spacing. So hold on. Because that's going to take me down. Hold on. Maybe I can add some spacing here. Oh, it has some spacing. We're going to do no spacing. Mobile. We don't need any spacing. Okay, let's publish. So it's added. This is added. And so let's take a look at the home page. The home page is complete. Look at it. Of course, it wants me to upgrade, but we will not be upgrading anything today. So let's take a look. If he has a logo, he can add it there. You see I have my logo here at the top. He can add a logo here, his personal logo if he wants to. And then, so this is what we have so far. He's going to go in and change his website copy. And just look how much nicer. This looks so much nicer just with having beautiful photos. Just photos make a difference. Photos make a major difference. And if he wants to go in here and change his colors to his colors, he can. His social media is linked. I didn't do this part, so I'm sure it's linked. And then he now has his Instagram at the bottom. And let me check and see what it looks like on mobile because we always want to check mobile. Yep, looks nice. Pretty nice. Hopefully this video was useful for you guys. I just went in and edited the homepage. Leave a comment down below if you would like for me to edit any other pages, or if you have questions about anything about your Lofty website. Now, I'm not all things what Lofty. I do know how to use Lofty based on me editing my website and showing you guys what I did on this homepage. I know nothing about the CRM, nothing. I need to dig in and look into that, into the CRM. It looks like a powerful platform. And it looks like that you can really do a lot. It looks a lot simpler than KV Core when we had KV Core. Now, KV Core is actually WordPress, which stresses me out just say WordPress, put Word and press together. I'm stressed. So Lofty looks a lot simpler to use, but leave a comment down below if you guys have any questions about anything that I did on this homepage, or if you have any other questions, leave a comment down below, or you could always reach out to Lofty. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. I'm Cher Allen. I am an EXP real estate agent, as you know if you're watching this, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Okay. All right. Bye, guys.